After the news next on BBC One, rock and roll, more like shock and roll.
What happened to your shirt?
Art club.
Now that's what I call a showstopper.
Broken the house.
The new year on BBC Three. It is big and it is clever.
I will do anything you want me to do. I want to make detective.
There you go. You can do it. Stick with me. You can do it.
Training Day, tomorrow at 10:25 on BBC One.
Saturday the 21st of May. I'm sorry, Mr. Ferguson, we have a block booking that weekend. Mr. Wenger called.
Manchester? Yes, I think someone rang this morning. Keegan, his name was. Oh, is that not your lot?
No, I thought I'd better check. She never puts anything in the book, see?
Sorry, Mr. F, the 21st is just gone.
Don't worry, Wazy. We'll have that fixed by the final.
A little hope can go a long way. The FA Cup third round, coming soon.
The news now on BBC One with Sophie Rayworth.
In shops in East Ham, impromptu collection points have been set up for those wanting to donate. The area is home to many Sri Lankans, mainly Tamils. Although thousands of miles from the disaster, they've been shocked by the scenes of devastation and are keen to help as much as they can.
That's why I sent some money. My 1 week is salary. Yes.
This collection's been organised by the Tamil Rehabilitation Organisation. They claim that help isn't reaching Tamil-controlled areas despite government assurances that aid will be evenly distributed. The north and east of the island is in Tamil hands. These are some of the first pictures from the area. Tamil groups claim the area hasn't received the same level of support as the government-controlled south.
There is no helicopter flying from Colombo to affected areas. So only the Tamil people trust the Tamil Rehabilitation Organisation. That's why they are bringing the money here.
The impact on this part of London can be seen by the number of black flags along East Ham's High Street. It's not just money that's needed. New clothes are being collected for the survivors who have lost everything. Sri Lankans here are also appealing for volunteers to travel to the country.
At the moment what we need is health professionals, doctors, nurses and volunteers who has worked in the kind of a situation from other nationalities. We need them.
It's estimated 120,000 Sri Lankans live in London. Many have never felt further from home. Paul Curran, BBC London News in East Ham.
The number of visitors to London's museums has risen by 75% since admission charges were abolished. The Victoria and Albert Museum in South Kensington has seen entrance numbers up by more than 100%, possibly because entry is free and so people keep returning. 2005 will see the 60th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. For many of today's Londoners, the conflict meant being evacuated to the country, and 750,000 left the capital. In the first part of a commemorative series, our special correspondent, Kurt Barling, has been retracing the journey of one evacuee sent to Leicestershire.
Although the newsreels painted a picture of a happy exodus, that was largely a work of fiction. For most children, separation was traumatic.
How much warning did you have, John, that you were coming?
None.
No, really?
No. Taken out of the shelter.
Really?
The house was bombed and we were up here that night.
John Watson, brother Richard and older sister Joan were evacuated in haste during the first week of the Blitz after a bomb wrecked their Dagenham home.
My sister had been told, don't get split up from your brothers, and we were all hanging on to her hands. I mean, two small boys at 4 and 5, and my sister was 8, responsible for us.
Managing the traumatic mass departures was the Women's Voluntary Service.
The children, they all had their gas mask in a little cardboard box. They all had a packet of food in a little suitcase. Sometimes the older sister would be holding that. And you only hope that they'd all get together, be in the family, would be in the same place.
The Watson children settled well. The welcoming party in Croft for John's return 2 weeks ago, an example of the friendships many evacuee children made during wartime.
They didn't have children of their own, you see, so I think we were manna from heaven, and I know that when we came back, when we had to come back, she was broken-hearted. I've always taken the view in life, and I've looked at everything in the same way, that nothing is forever.
John Watson ending that report. A quick look at tomorrow's weather now, and it'll start off dry with some sunny spells, turning cloudy though in the afternoon. A top temperature of 6 degrees Celsius. And that's about it from us. Remember, you can keep up to date with all your holiday travel information on our website. So from the team for now, a very good night to you.
A museum dedicated to killers and their crimes.
If we don't all sign, the museum closes.
Their motives.
I'm not signing that release.
I like this job, Doctor. I love it here.
Just forget about me.
And their new victim.
Your brother's dead.
The museum isn't.
Accident, suicide or murder?
It was an accident!
Martin Shaw stars in an adaptation of P.D. James' Murder Room. New Year's Day, 9:40 BBC One.
Good evening. It's about to turn much milder, but the cold weather has a sting in its tail, and once again this evening we have a severe weather warning in force for widespread ice across Scotland and northern England following the day's snow showers. Very slippery and some dangerous conditions on the roads, and that's likely to last well into tomorrow morning's rush hour, of course, the return to work for many of us. But with a widespread frost we could have ice just about anywhere, and complicated too by a little bit of rain coming in towards the end of the night and falling onto the frozen surfaces, so black ice a real risk for eastern Scotland and northern England. But it'll soon get milder further west, and what a different day it will be for Northern Ireland and western Scotland. Grey, damp and quite misty too. And despite the bright but cold start for many other areas, the sunshine will gradually fade away as the day goes on, the clouds slipping eastwards. Just spits and spots of rain really, damp and grey I think the theme for many, just holding on to some brightness for East Anglia in the southeast, whilst the heavier rain and the gales set in further northwest across Scotland. And here much milder. What a change, particularly after the cold start in the east, temperatures up to 10 to 13 degrees. Still just a little chilly in southeast England, but by Thursday the milder air will have arrived everywhere. However, I think if you're travelling for New Year, the problem will be with rain and wind, and with snow melt too across Scotland, the potential for some localised flooding. But hopefully the wind and rain will slowly ease its way southwards during New Year's Eve. Cross fingers then for the celebrations at midnight. For most of the big cities it'll be dry.
Due to the extended news, the rest of the night will be running 5 minutes later than billed, with Match of the Day at 11:25.
Don't say a word. We have your daughter.
Time is running out.
You have a patient. She has a 6-digit number in her troubled mind.
Michael Douglas, Sean Bean.
He's got my milk, girl.
I'm scared.
Don't say a word. New Year's Eve at 9 on BBC One.
Highlights from all 9 of today's Premiership matches. Match of the Day with Gary Lineker in an hour here on BBC One. But first, 5 minutes later than planned, we get the truth about the kings of rock and roll.